It's the sure sign of a good time. The just right taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
This is the Coach's Scouting Report, featuring Coach Rick Venturi on 101sports.com.
Welcome into the Scouting Report. Rams, Steelers on Saturday, a Christmas Eve tilt. And Coach, we always try to put the blueprint out there for the Rams to get themselves a victory. This one's not going to be easy. The good thing is that the status of Ben Roethlisberger is in flux. We'll see what happens there on Saturday. But let's start with the Rams defensively against that Steelers offense. Really, we should probably start with special teams.
Yeah, we've got to go back. We made a mistake. We didn't talk about it last week, and it bit them again. And I mean, you got to talk about it because it's been such an issue. I mean, I would say that 5 games out of 6 special teams played a big part in the demise. Without Ben, or even Ben at half speed, which he's no better than that right now, the Steelers are going to try to manufacture offense. I think they're going to try to not have to have him win the game. And one of the ways is with Antonio Brown on the return game. Their special teams coach, Al Everest, is a good friend of mine. I work together. He's a really innovative guy. Look for some razzle-dazzle by them. Look for a reverse here or there. I think they're definitely going to try to get a score with their special teams.
Really, on the defensive side for the Rams, the Steelers offense, even with Ben Roethlisberger in there limited, they're really just a facsimile of themselves.
Yeah, they really are. And really, he's not – I've seen him play like at 75% and look good. I don't feel like he's even 50% right now, which really makes them vulnerable. Once you take him out of that mode or you put in a backup, they go from a very good team to really a middle-of-the-pack team. Still got a good defense, but middle of the pack. Now, what they're going to try to do, and what you have to counter – they're going to come out and they're going to try to hammer that ball with Mendenhall. Mendenhall is the tackle guy. They're going to try to play some of that old-fashioned football. Eat clock. They don't think they're going to have to score a bunch of points to win this. Occasionally get Redmond in there and go outside. Now, you're going to have to come down and play 8-man fronts. You're going to have to stay on top of Wallace and Brown. Don't let them get big plays. And then I think one key issue this week is the guys on the edge, whether it's a safety on one side, maybe it's Papinga on the other side, really be alert for Brown and Wallace on reverses. They're going to try to use that speed, again, to manufacture offense, not to necessarily make the quarterback have to go out there and win it. I don't think they'll have to. Very much like the Niners did in the second half against the Rams. Rams stopped their inside running game first half. What did the Niners come out with? End around to Delaney Walker, right. Jet sweep to Ted Ginn Jr. So, make sure that as you stop that inside run, that your edges stay disciplined.
So you would think the way you speak, it's probably going to be a methodical game plan for the Steelers offense, a lot of running the ball, trying to do it without Big Ben as much as possible. So you would assume a lot of third downs for the Steelers, especially third and short. Now, how do you stop third and short?
Well, I'm going to go in with that plan I just told you about. 8-man front, stay high, stay close on the edges, make them work, and then every time they get in third down, I'm going to win that third down. If I have to gamble, if I have to take chances, and here's how I'm going to play them, okay? If I get in that 3rd and 3 to 5 situation, I'm going to defend them inside. I'm going to take away Heath Miller, Cotchery, or if Brown plays in the slot, I'm going to take away the slot, the tight end, and the halfback, which will be Mewelde Moore, who's a really good third down back. I'm going to pack that coverage in. I'm going to play outside leverage with a safety coming down. I call that a triangle, tight end, slot, running back. And I'm going to add the 4th guy and play 4 on 3 and try to stuff that. Now, if we get them 3rd and long, that's where the Rams actually have the advantage. The Steeler offensive line is not very good. Pouncey's the only legitimate player at center, and he's playing on one leg. This has been a line that Roethlisberger's made good. Not they haven't made him good. He's made them good. Right. So if you get in that 3rd and long, get in those odd looks. Get IU in there with Hall, in there with Quinn, in there with Chris Long, and get after him and blitz them. Don't be afraid. Take your chances. Don't worry about it. One thing the 49ers did last week is they absolutely manhandled in pass rush situation. Aldon Smith was a beast. They're big. They're ponderous. They have a lot of trouble with stunts on both sides. And he can't move. Right. That's the advantage you have. And if he's not in there and you have Batch in there, Batch is a rusty guy. He's a journeyman guy. The only thing I'd be alert for is if Dixon ever comes in the game, make sure you play the edges because he's athletic.
Now let's talk about the Rams' offensive side as against the Steelers' defense, a very good Steelers' defense. And really it starts with the biggest issues, personnel and scheme, really.
There's three issues when you play the Steelers, no matter where you play them. One, don't let the scheme beat you. It's a 3-4, but it's a blitzing 3-4. It's not a stand-up 3-4 like Dallas or like New England. And then there's two players you must account for every play. That's Troy Polamalu, all right, and that's James Harrison.
Right.
Those two guys are mismatches. You have to make sure you compensate everything. So when you go into that game, those three plans, and I'll elaborate here as we go, but those three things you got to take care of.
Start with first down.
All right, first down, you got to beat the Steelers. You don't want to get in third down battles with the Steelers. That's where they bring all their junk. That's when they rush the passer. That's when Harrison's a monster. One thing you know, you're going to get a bunch of 8-man fronts, okay? You're going to get inside pressure and mostly strong side pressure, but mostly 8-man fronts, and if they do anything with the coverage, they'll lean it weak towards Lloyd. Polamalu will be all over the place. You want to get into formations that can kind of predict where he's going to be. When I run the ball, which you're going to have to run the ball, you're going to have a really good mix here. I want to run the ball weak from 2 tight ends and 2 wideouts from balance. I want to run away from that strong side pressure, and I want to make sure when I zone off, I can handle Ferrier and Timmons because as much as outside pressure, they're going to bring those 2 guys in the middle, what I call inside fire zone. So you got to get hat and work weak. When you go to the strong side, you have to run fixed plays. If they use Spock as whoever the fullback is, you've got to run gap block plays, basically lead draw and power, so that all that inside twist and all that stuff can be handled. Anything else is suicidal. Now, on your first down passing game, the first thing you want to do is go to the strong side of the set. If they undress anybody, it's the strong side corner or the flanker. It won't be Lloyd. So you need to have Denario Alexander in there at flanker, and you need to get something out of Kendrick. I would play action and go after Gay. That'll be Gay, the strong side corner, and he'll be undressed. He'll be man-to-man most of the time. So you got to take your shots. Also with Troy Polamalu, because he's so active, okay, you want to go play action, make sure you got the protection, and you want your tight end to be able to get down either in the seam or in the corner route. So you want to work Alexander on the deep part or underneath, and then you want to go play action and get Kendricks in the corner or in the seam. If you go to the weak side, you're going to run into trouble.
Boy, I hope we see some tight end this week. It's been a while.
You have to. I mean,
it's been a while since we've seen some of that.
You cannot play with 10 guys.
So tell me about third down. You know, there's a lot of times where if the Rams are behind the 8 ball, it's been tough for the Rams to convert on third down. How would they be able to do it against a very good Steelers defense?
Well, let me just backtrack one second, because I think you really can control the Steeler defense with a few sets, okay, and first down or second down. One, get in slot formation. That normally forces them into some kind of cover 3 because they have double calls. Get in balance, 2 tight ends and 2 wideouts. That normally reduces the weak side blitzing. Occasionally get in spread, but keep your back and your tight end in the box so that you're not open, because the Steelers will check a lot of their blitzes. If they check them, you can then motion in and run the ball, okay? So there's ways to make them more predictable.
Make it manageable, yeah.
The other thing I like is get in a slot, motion across to pro, and reset. Okay, now what that does is it makes Polamalu show where he's coming. Right. If you just line up there, he's going to walk around. But I want to reduce the spots that he's in. Now, if I get in third and long, I really got trouble in River City. Okay, I got trouble. The one thing they do a lot of is what we call designer blitzes. By that we mean they design them for you. You're going to see a blitz you haven't seen on tape. So you have to have, and I say it every week, a maximum general protection. If you're trying to go different man protections, you are going to be lost. You got to be set it up. Also, they play a lot of 2-man. So you need a lot of out-breaking routes. They do a lot of inside, what I call inside-out, man-to-man, a lot of out-breaking routes, and you got to get rid of the ball. Also, don't let Harrison one-on-one on that left tackle. If you do that, you're asking for trouble. So out-breaking routes, occasionally beat them with a draw. Run the draw when they don't expect it, because they may bring 4 guys to one side. When I do run a draw, I like the running back to cross the formation, because a lot of the blitzes will come down to his position, run a cross draw, and you can get them from that standpoint. And then from that standpoint, screen the hell out of them. Because there's also a lot of what we call back to the ball coverage. When guys are turning away from the ball, screen the ball. Be really careful on third down. You must win this game on first and second down.
I like that we have a quarterback now in Kellen Clemens that will check it down. If all else fails, you may see a check down. You won't lose yardage on a lot of plays this time around.
No, he's a good guy to have in there. Now listen, this is a blueprint. I don't know what the Rams can do. I really don't. I mean, you're going to have to go in there. It's a tough venue. You're going to have to play. The game plan has to be flawless. The execution has to be terrific. And we probably need all the angels and archangels to intercede. But what the hell? It's Christmas Eve. Maybe they do.
That's right. It's the holidays. If it's going to happen anytime, might as well happen now. For the coach, Rick Venturi, I'm Zach McCray. Check out his stuff on 101sports.com in text form leading up to this game. And everybody have a happy holidays from all of us at 101 ESPN.